so you can choose exactly what fits your health goals. From quick baseline checks to full body insights. It's simple, it's smart, and it's all about keeping you in top form before problems ever sneak up. And the best part, you don't need a doctor's order. Just call AMI to schedule and make this the year you put your health on the schedule. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall, they go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations. MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Step into the world of gymnastics with Nebraska women's gymnast and Canadian world team member, Emma Spence.
She got a bronze in the all-arounder, bronze on beam. And who knows if she'll get another medal. But that was a very confident performance.
This is Beyond the Routine with Spence.
Hitting all her handstands, connecting all her release moves, and landing that dismount. That's Emma Spence for you.
Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Emma Spence.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Routine. I'm your host, Emma Spence, and I've got some really special guests tonight in the studio. They are super positive, high energy, really successful, and motivational people, former athletes. And I'm very excited to get into it. So my first guest I'm going to introduce is Ashlee Mitchell.
Hi, welcome back.
Ashlee and I have been doing a couple of shows together over the last few months. So we're about to do another double show together. So stay tuned for the next 2 hours. And then my other two guests here for tonight's show, we've got Elliot and we've got Logan. They are the owners of Three Pillars Performance, founders. You guys will get into that story. But yeah, super excited to have you guys on here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to be here. Thank you.
Of course. So maybe I think the best way to go about this is you guys kind of explaining your background and diving into that. Maybe talk about, I guess, your sporting experience, history, what that looks like, hometown, all that kind of stuff. Whatever you want to share, take it away.
Yeah. So Logan Kriesel, I'm born and raised Lincoln, Nebraska native. Played multiple sports growing up at the high school level, went and played college ball out at Concordia and Seward, SCO Dogs, for those who know. But yeah, just sports, gym has always been something that I've always kind of pursued and always had a passion for. So now being able to be an individual who can kind of give back to the community and work with student athletes as they're continuing to develop their athletic potential and their athletic skills as they navigate high school, middle school, whatever level they're playing at. It's just, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So that's kind of a bit about me. And
yeah, so myself here, Elliot Applegate. Talking a little bit like Logan said, Three Pillars, what we actually do. So we're a youth sports training performance facility. We work with a lot of middle school, high school athletes, anyone up to the elite level, as well as your professionals, your adults, everyone in between who wants to focus on fitness. I'm also Lincoln born and raised. So Logan and I go way back. We'll get into a little more of our actual stories as we keep going. My sporting background, I was a competitive swimmer for a long time. And at the time when I was in school, swimming was not exactly getting a lot of money in terms of NIL, didn't exist too much at the college level. So for me, I didn't go to college into the sporting world. I actually just went to the university here, studied business in Nebraska, got into the weight room, started to understand more about how athletes move, what athletics look like outside of swimming, where I was in a very specific world for a very long time. And yeah, now getting the opportunity to give it back, give athletes the opportunity to learn a little bit more about the actual world of weightlifting, moving fast, explosiveness, and to get to work with athletes that maybe didn't get that opportunity, and something that I missed out on when I was a kid in terms of strength and conditioning, extra training, and extra athletic work.
Awesome. Yeah, what you guys do is so cool, and we'll just keep diving into that. One thing that you guys mentioned, you're both from Lincoln. You're still in Lincoln. Talk a little bit about that, why you guys think it's so important to, I guess, do what you do in Lincoln still.
I mean, Lincoln's just a big small town. I mean, that's really what it is. It seems like every corner you walk downtown, you'll run into somebody that you know. Walking into the Walmart, you'll run into 3 people. Like, just getting to know the people within the community, but then seeing how many corners you can really touch through such a small niche and a small net worth of people. It's like there's 1, 2, 3 people in one area that could connect you to 5 other people that you already know. Like, I mean, before the show even started, it's like, oh yeah, I know Austin. Austin's great. Been knowing Austin since I was 5. So it's like, yeah, it's just great to know in the Lincoln community that there's multiple people that will watch and see you interacting with the other people in Lincoln, regardless of what your blueprint or what your footprint is with the physical work that you do. So
I think it's also just a hard place to leave. If you're from here, or a lot of times, like I'll talk to people who came here for school, they find themselves stuck in Nebraska. And I've got a lot of friends from Colorado, Minnesota, and I've asked them, like, why'd you stick around? And they talk about how much they love the people and the city. And kind of like Logan said, it feels big city, college town, but it's still that smaller atmosphere, not as many people as even in Omaha, Nebraska, or kind of your major cities. So yeah, for both of us, it was just something that we had roots here, both family wise, personal wise, a lot from our history and our past. And there's not many better places to be. So, I mean, you got the Huskers here. Like I said, it's somewhere that's hard to leave once you get yourself settled.
No, for sure. And honestly, I feel that way right now. I mean, I graduated last year and I'm still here. So
We'll get you to stick around.
yeah, I can definitely relate on that side of things. But another thing that you guys kind of started talking to us about last night, and I really want to get into that, but kind of how you guys reconnected and like your story on like how you bonded over this and kind of created it what it is.
Yeah. So kind of like I'd mentioned, I come from competitive swimming background. He won't say it much, but Logan himself was also a very good swimmer at a young age. So we were on the same club team. I was swimming closer with his older sister.
Yep.
He was kind of the little kid, the one who was always causing trouble around us.
100%.
A few years behind me, but we disconnected from each other for probably roughly 10 years.
I would say so, yeah. Once you kind of got into the high school realm, and that was like, because I stopped swimming when I was 8th grade going into freshman year of high school. The high school that I attended didn't have a competitive swim team. So I kind of stepped away from that. I wanted to focus on basketball. He was getting into the school season, not necessarily the club season. But then after that, I was done. So once we basically went our separate ways, once I got my way through college, decided to move back into town and reconnected at the gym. So
yeah, it was probably 2023, late end of 2023.
Yeah.
I was sitting at the gym myself, getting my own workout in, and all of a sudden this huge guy comes up to me and goes, "Do you remember me?" And I'm looking at now a grown man, bearded, and I remember like a little 8-year-old who was running around the pool at like 50 pounds soaking wet.
50 pounds soaking wet, would turn purple if the water was too cold. Like that's the type of little kid that I was.
And all of a sudden I've got this giant linebacker, big beard, big guy, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. As soon as he says Logan Kriesel, I'm like, oh my gosh, I see it, I hear it. It all kind of clicked again. So at the time then, and still, I'm a realtor as well as our sports space. So it's kind of funny. We got a couple workouts in, reconnected, and Logan was almost like venting that he needed someone to help with like 4 to 5 hours a week. It wasn't enough for a lot of people who wanted part-time, full-time work. It was just enough that it was kind of a pain for other people to find the time to make on a Monday and Tuesday. And for me in the real estate space, my Mondays and Tuesdays were pretty easy going. A lot of people are back at work. We're not doing as much work as the weekends. And so I took on a couple hours with him, very quickly turned to now what it is, where we're both very passionate about it. I'm there just as much as I'm selling houses. He has grown it and we have grown it into something that's much bigger even than it was 2.5 years ago. So
yeah,
it's been quite a trip. It's been cool to get reconnected with the families. Our families were friends and also disconnected. So it's kind of one of those things where it's a lot of overlap. We've brought other people back into our worlds and gotten to reconnect with a lot of people that we knew when we were young. And again, that's kind of one of those things with Lincoln is like, you can leave, but if you come back, you're still going to find someone that you know, you're still going to reconnect with that love for the city and something about it. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's super wholesome too.
Very, yes.
I know. I love your guys' story. I think that's just the coolest thing that you guys just reconnected one day at the gym. Like how ironic that you guys are doing
and
this
like
now.
I know it doesn't look the part where we are. There is an age gap, but like it was because when we were swimming, he was in the couple age groups above me, so we were never competing against each other. But we like the Applegate name. Everyone knew Applegate name in the swim world, so it was like we would know each other from the swim meets, but it was never like Elliot lane 5, Logan lane 6. It was always Logan swimming with all the 9 and 10-year-olds, and then Elliot's over here with the I'll leave you to decide what age group you want to go in.
Well, and I think just like he's saying too, one of the things we learned very quickly is that we became much better friends now, and we didn't exactly realize how similar we were. Obviously, when you're younger kids at that age, like we didn't have that much in common because you're just hanging out with the friends at school, same age, your same age group.
Yeah.
So that's been cool for us to kind of see that like that age gap didn't really mean as much. We're about 5 years apart. But now we've got the same interest in the gym, the same interest outside of the gym and kind of what we're getting into. And we've created the same kind of friendships with another one of our coaches who's 21 and he's still in school finishing up. And then a couple of our older clients who are in their 40s or 50s even, and kind of seeing the way that fitness and kind of like we've talked about already and what we've really seen from the gym reconnects people, whether or not you come from that same background or that same age. It's that same passion and that same drive. And I mean, like we've kind of said now we're two halves of the same brain. Like it's kind of working in that sense to where if he's thinking one thing, I've either already thought about it or we're on that same page. And it's just one of those things like connecting with people doesn't necessarily mean just the same people you knew in high school or college. And that's what we both got out of the gym.
I would say that even goes for the rest of our staff, like the individuals that aren't here because they've got other family stuff going on or they're in bed by now. You know who I'm talking about, Gerald. But even them, it's like there's some things when we're talking in our weekly meeting that like one person says it, but 3 of the 5 of us were thinking it. So it's like, okay, somebody just said it first, but everybody's on the same page of this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to get done. This is what we want to try and, work our way towards. But everybody's on the same page, understanding like it takes time and it takes work. So regardless of if it's one step forward or one jump forward, it's like you just got to take that step forward. And as a group, we're figuring that out as we go. We're in a little bit of uncharted territory right now, which as an entrepreneur you want, because that means you're doing something you've never done before. So we're in a good spot from a staffing's perspective, but then also just from a mental's perspective from us as coaches of making sure that as a group, as a team, we always refer to ourselves as a team and a family more than just a group of guys. Just trying to figure out the things that we are wanting to try and achieve as a unit, which then would impact the community, which is just a bigger unit. So
yeah, for sure. And like honestly, like the first time I walked in there into the gym, I could feel that instantly. Like the way that you guys communicate with each other, the way that you guys communicate with your athletes as well. Like it's super cohesive. And like I think you guys even told me about this, like the way that you guys kind of connect with them on a sense that like they respect you so much and they trust you and just care about everything that you have to say. Like that's not the easiest thing to do with like a group of like, I don't know, 8-year-old boys, but like they were all doing their job. They were listening. They were respecting you guys and like they were working hard. It was awesome.
Yeah. I think it's easy for those younger groups to try and that we relate to because we were in their shoes at one point and like to a T of if a coach is talking, we're just like counting ceiling tiles. But like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we've been in this space. Let's try and direct it a little bit, see what they can get out of it. And if they're learning something along the way, that's 10 times better because ultimately we want to be teaching these kids things, not just as athletes, but as people.
Yeah. I remember when I was coaching, it was really hard to keep that age group specifically like honed in. How do you guys like keep those kids honed in for even like an hour? I feel like that's even a long time for that age.
I will say, I don't know if we've ever kept a whole hour. Like, that's the first thing is that we know it's in chunks.
True.
Yes, it's got to be in chunks. And I think Emma said something that kind of clicked of like with respect, you have to give respect to get respect. And so even if a kid is 10 years old, I'm still giving that kid respect to hear their story, hear how their day was, listen to whatever problem they had, even if it was so-and-so on the playground having XYZ. I know that kid, that problem is just as important as my bills or my real, what I consider life stuff. So being able for that kid to just know that they're heard and know that like what they're saying matters, even if their buddies don't care, or even if someone would make fun of them for something at school, they know that their coaches are going to back them up and then they give it back to us. So we treat even a 10-year-old like an elite athlete. And we tell them that same thing that like, we have an expectation for you to do XYZ. We will have fun in between. We'll chat in between. We'll do a quick lap around the building and do something goofy or add in the fun stuff. But then when it's time to get to work, we know how to focus. We lock in for 30 seconds or a minute of a set and then let them get loose and play again because it is still kids. And I think that's one of the things we've really tried to do is like, if we can get 15 minutes of full focus, it might be 2 or 3 minutes of like,
that's a dangerous 15 minutes that you can get through, especially with that group. Because as soon as you start and you get that direct eye contact and those kids you can tell that they're paying attention. It's like, okay, they're dialed. Like they're going to get after it. So we just try and keep the ball rolling with that. And it might even start with a kid getting dropped off 10 minutes early and they literally just start talking. Like, and you're just like, I'm listening now. I'm not sending emails. I'm not filling out Excel sheets. It's, hey, you have my attention. So let's
And
Yeah,
I think it's
really
also
good.
like remembering their kids is the big thing.
Yeah.
So I'll give a shout out to Frankie. I think she's listening. We had
Yeah,
a group.
yeah.
We had a group of 10 or 11-year-olds that I could tell it was kind of getting loose. They didn't really want to listen. They were kind of getting a little antsy. We took like a 5-minute dance break, and so I was like, "What song do you want on?" And we let them pick the song. We turned around and we went and did work for 5 minutes.
They
and just
didn't want
gave
us.
them
The
that minute.
biggest thing is they didn't want us watching them.
Yeah.
And they didn't want us filming them or anything like that. So we're like, fine, we won't. So
Yeah.
we went and sat, just let them have their little dance break in the last 25 minutes of that session. Then they were spot on.
But we've quickly learned, like, again, you take that hour and you're looking for the most productivity out of it. So if I know that I'm forcing productivity for the first 40 and trying and fighting,
Yeah.
I'm not getting as much good work.
Mhm.
Or I can spend 20 minutes getting really good work, take a 5-minute break, and then the next 30 minutes go even better.
Yeah.
So it's really like relating to them at their level. And then, like, I think this week a good example is a lot of the kids in schools had a lot of testing.
Yeah.
So they had hours on end of map testing and 2-3 hours a day. And listening to them tell us that, like, the first hour of one of the workouts, we were kind of like, what is going on? Why are all these kids so
Why is the
antsy?
energy so odd?
Yeah.
Kids are exhausted. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like,
And all of a sudden we ask and you hear the same thing from 4 kids that, oh, I'm exhausted. I test all day. So
Mm.
now they're in the
Mhm.
gym. It's a little more fun and they're with their friends.
Yeah.
So it's like we had to understand too, maybe that first 10 minutes is a little bit more of like, let's get some energy out. Let's use
Yeah.
it. And then we can focus in. So it's really just like understanding where they're at the same way that I would talk to a college kid or a professional athlete and saying, like, what's going on in your life? Like those 10-year-olds, their lives are just as important to them as some pro athlete who's at a very top level.
Yeah.
It's just as much different problems at a different age.
yeah. And it goes to show on the, I mean, on the flip side of that, like there are some kids, especially the more experienced kids. So those freshmen, sophomores, juniors in high school, they get through. I mean, everyone knows how high school is. High school is not the most pleasant for some individuals. So it's they might show up and they're just, you can tell on their face, they're not really there to chat. They're not really there to do a whole lot else other than like, I'm here to work. And
Mhm.
if you're giving them a coaching point, they'll be like, yep, cool. And then just kind of walk away. But it's more of like I appreciate the insight, but at the end of the day, I just need a little bit of me time. And that's kind of what the gym sparked for myself as I was growing up and going through that high school phase of that gym time. That was me time. Like that
Mhm.
was the time where I could just be myself and not feel like I'm being judged, being ridiculed for anything that was going on in my life, because it was turn my volume up on my headphones as loud as it can go, which wasn't loud enough sometimes. And it was just go from there and go to bed at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So I think that he can relate to that in the sense
Mhm.
of sometimes it's not there to work. It's just therapy at that point.
Yeah.
So,
So for us, it's engagement with the athletes. Like that's kind of, if you boil it all down, it's recognizing that they have important stuff. We want to be as engaged with them in their days. But also, like when I show up as a coach, I might be coming from a real estate day and I might have had a really stressful, long day. I can't leave that energy for them. They need that boost and they need that little bit of fire and that fun. So anyone who's working with us and any of our coaches would reiterate that they're bringing the energy.
Yeah.
They know that that's our job, is to lead that. And it doesn't necessarily, like, the workout itself is written. We know what we're doing. The kids know how to execute on stuff. So it's the extra stuff that makes the difference of either wanting to come back, having a good time, or enjoying sports at a certain level. So keeping it fun, keeping it playful, and again, just really remembering their kids and that we're just two giant kids that just happen to get older. So it's the same
And
thing.
at the end of the day, it's more of a, like, yes, we're developing athletes. We work with that. We jump, sprints, lifts, the whole 9 yards with that. But at the end of the day, we're developing people. Like this is the next generation of student athlete. And we want them to understand, like, there will be a point in your life. It might not be tomorrow. It might be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years where you aren't going to be an athlete, but we don't want that title to be tied to them. And that's where they find their identity. We want them to be able to find the identity of, hey, I'm little Timmy. I'm Timmy. Right. So it's making sure that those kids are understanding, like, this is who I am. It's not my stats on a stat sheet, the starting position, this or that. It's getting to understand there's things outside of sports that I can continue to develop while I'm in the training space.
Mhm. I think that's been like a big thing that Spence and I talk about pretty frequently, is like finding who we are now that we're like done with athletics. I mean, we've both.
And it's not easy either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that transition phase, really figuring it out. And I feel like what you guys are building in these athletes, who, like, some of them at like 10 years old, like if you get that kind of mindset like instilled in them at that age, like by the time that they get through their whole athletic career, whether that's college or whatever it is, that transition phase is going to be easier for them as well.
Mhm.
Completely.
That's awesome. Well, okay. On that note, guys, we are going to head to our first break. We'll be right back. You are listening to Emma Spence with Ashlee Mitchell, Elliot, Logan, part of Three Pillars Performance. We'll be right back.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at nebraskadeerandgameexpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Want to quit tobacco? You don't have to do it alone. The Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line can help you quit any type of tobacco. We offer professional coaches to help you create a personalized quit plan with an online community to support you along the way. Plus, we'll connect you to resources like medications to help you quit, so you have everything you need to become tobacco-free. Quit with confidence. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
From Chromebooks to whiteboards, today's classrooms are blending tradition with technology. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Learning is evolving, and public schools are helping students succeed in a digital world. Stay engaged, stay curious, and support your child's learning both online and off. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G16518. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Back to Beyond the Routine with Spence on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Beyond the Routine. We're having a great show so far. I'm your host, Emma Spence, with my special guest here tonight. We've got Ashlee Mitchell, Elliot Applegate, and Logan Kriesel. Elliot and Logan are generals at Three Pillars Performance, and we're getting into that, learning more about their story, what they do. So for this next segment, let's kind of talk about, I guess, that inspiration and motivation that kind of led you guys to Three Pillars Performance and what you guys do.
Yeah. So I've been the longest tenured employee for Three Pillars. So I started working for Mr. CJ back in November of 2021, right after I finished my football career out at Concordia. I studied exercise science with a focus in strength and conditioning. Went back to watch a Lincoln Lutheran football game and ran into this random dude in the parking lot. He's like, "You want a job?" I was
That's crazy.
Sure. So we shared contact info, went and met him at the first facility that we were at, and kind of just been developing since. So we started in the corner of basically a giant warehouse. Kind of all the weight equipment, it literally like an L and literally shoved in the corner. After I graduated, it was, hey, obviously once you graduate, you're trying to figure out, okay, now what next steps, right? So talked to him a little bit, was going to go part-time because really when I first started with Three Pillars, we were training maybe 7 or 8 athletes total from 4 to 6 o'clock or 5 to 7 o'clock at night on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that was it. And so after developing and kind of being around the team a little bit, ended up growing into, okay, now we got full afternoons for sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then it was, okay, we should probably open up to Mondays and Wednesdays as well. And I mean, now we're working with 75 athletes a week in our own space. We just moved in July we keep saying we went from 800 square feet to 8,000 square feet. If you've been to our new facility, the lobby is basically the same size as the old weight room that we worked in. So I'm incredibly grateful to be able to see the starting point of it, but then also continuing to see the place of where we're at right now. So continuing to lead that impact with athletes in Lincoln. But the big thing that kind of sparked my interest for strength and conditioning was in high school. I was the kid that woke up at 5 a.m., went and worked out before school, went to practice, would go home, eat dinner, get my homework done, and then go back to the gym, because it was just something that I was like, I love this. This is something I'm super passionate about. This is where I got to go be myself. And then it ended up, from my freshman year of high school to my senior year of high school, I put on 85 pounds and probably 70 of that was muscle. And so when Elliot was saying, like, he swam against this little kid that was literally a string bean, he's dead serious when he says it.
Different human came back. Yeah.
But then when I got to college, it was, this is college ball. So it was different perspective because it was one sport versus being the football, basketball, and track kid that I was in high school. Now it's just football all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Had an injury my freshman year of college, put me out on the sideline for 12 weeks in a sling. Was one of the most frustrating things on the planet, but I lost 20 pounds during that time because I couldn't lift my arm above my head.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it's like, okay, the weight room is a place where it can develop a resilient body. So that's where we're really just going to dive into and try and put all my efforts, all my focus into, one, getting healthy again, but then also maintaining that original range of motion and that mobility and strength that I had. Football is a sport. It's a violent sport. You got to be able to protect yourself at all times. So that was the big drive for making sure that my body could do the things that my sport required me to. And so now kind of going big full circle moment of working with all these athletes throughout the week. It's making sure that, yes, we might have a baseball kid and a football kid training at the same time. They might be doing the same like the same movement, the same exercise, but we can coach it a little bit differently for that sport specificity. So making sure that those bodies are staying resistant, staying resilient, but still being able to make sure that their bodies are able to compete and perform at the level that their bodies need to for their respective sports. So that was my big push for trying to get back into the community aspect of it.
Yeah, and I think he kind of even said it himself. Like, I can tell you, he's wanted to own a gym since the first time he probably stepped into a weight room. Like, he fell in love with the weight room early, and he even told me that. Like,
it was that
general
icebreaker question when you're a sophomore or junior in high school, and the teacher asked, like, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to be a personal trainer. I want to own a gym." And there were a couple kids in my class that like audibly laughed, and so I was like,
"We'll go do it." Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't like an overnight straight out of college. Yep, this is what. Like, it's been step by step by step, and it's developing the team along the way of you're gonna have that one person that passes through town every once in a while, but now we've got people who's got, feet anchored in concrete and just doing the things that we want to continue to develop and provide. We want to give the city of Lincoln, the community of Lincoln, a place where their kids can go and receive the feedback as athletes to continue to develop as athletes and people. But then know that when they show up, they're going to have somebody who knows them by a name, not by a number. You're not so-and-so, and that's it. Like, it's, mom and dad's name, where they go to school. We're developing that relationship that we want those kids to we want to challenge those kids to try and get to know as they continue to communicate themselves and articulate amongst themselves of the importances of getting to know somebody and not feel like you're in an interview. It's more of a conversation. You're just having a genuine conversation. So,
and I think, like, for me, it was a little bit more roundabout, and we've kind of partnered the ways of our thinking in fitness and what's brought us back. So for me, like I said, I was a competitive swimmer, got to college, stopped swimming, and definitely lived the college life. So I was out having fun, doing my thing. I gained a bunch of weight. It was not the muscle that he put on. It was definitely a little bit different weight. And so I had a buddy who brought me to the weight room as someone who'd never really been consistent with it. Like, swimming at the time, we did some dry land stuff. You did a little bit of push-ups, sit-ups, those kind of things. But I was never in a weight room with a barbell or dumbbells really doing heavy work.
I don't think we really realized this. We were swimmers. We didn't realize the importance of what dry land was for swimming. Like, we didn't think that there were I didn't think that there were college swim teams, first off. But also, like, the work that they put in a weight room and how much it can benefit them in the long run, in the grand scheme of things. So
And so I was lacking in that realm. And then I fell in love with the weight room from the aspect of my brain. So for me, the weight loss portion of losing some fat and kind of getting back into shape, but also understanding, like he's saying, the resilience, the adversity, the other tools that came from it. And at a time where I was struggling a little bit personally with image, personal stuff, kind of like the college life itself, the weight room was a spot where I really connected with. And so I got working with Huddle as I was in college. I interned with them, kind of got back into the sports aspect of things. But I knew that I didn't necessarily want to go be like a team coach. One of the cool things with strength and conditioning and what we do is that it's own little niche within the fitness world, and especially within the youth sports world. We don't deal with playtime, parents, some things that could be considered political in the youth sports world. You show up, you execute for an hour, and then you leave. And they do it again, but it's expected. Like, no one has playtime. There's no one that's being left out. Everyone has the same equality in the gym. Everyone has the same expectation. And so it created that little world where I felt like it was something that made sense. My dad and my grandpa were both my coaches forever. So my grandpa was Fremont track coach. Shout out John Applegate. He was state champion multiple years. He's in the Nebraska Coaches Hall of Fame, the National Coaches Hall of Fame. He was an incredible coach himself. My dad was my youth coach forever. He was a coach through and through.
Shout out John Applegate.
Both Johns. And so for me, it was something that I didn't want to be in those team worlds. Like, I knew that growing up. I knew I was going to be in some sort of coaching world. And then again, this little niche really made sense. And it clicked for me to where I could still do my other jobs. It was kind of partnered with it, but it allowed me to do kind of like he said, give those kids something that maybe they didn't have or something I didn't have growing up, which was that other voice or that other place to feel comfortable. And I was talking with my business coach today about just an athlete having someone else to talk to. So like, for example, those kids at any age, whether it's middle school, high school, college, whatever, you don't want to talk to mom and dad about everything.
Yeah.
And especially you're not going to listen to mom and dad about everything. So
Yeah.
when mom and dad tell you, hey, you need 8 hours of sleep, you need to go work out 3 times a week, you need to do X, Y, Z, they don't really care.
It's the
And
same
just
thing
'cause
as
mom
like
and
when a
dad.
parent tells a kid to go clean a room. They're like, no
Yeah.
one's going to be like,
Yes.
family's
Yeah.
coming over.
Yeah.
Family's not going to be in my room when I got to clean it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the principle. Like I'm a firm believer. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're not willing to get those little things done, then it's going to cascade into the next part of your life.
Mhm.
And then your job or with your relationship with your family, the whole 9 yards with that. So it's, if you do a little thing right and you just continue to compound it, you're going to get a snowball effect of just positive. And we keep
Mhm.
preaching to kids. Like I've challenged the kids as of more recently. I challenge them every time they walk in. I want them to win the day. And it's not necessarily have the best day they've ever had, but just find something that they can win at for that day.
Mhm.
Find something to capitalize on, find a positive, pull that positive, and then just put it in a bucket. Next day, find another one, put it in a bucket. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the year, if you're consistent and time again, you're going to, that bucket's going to start overflowing into other people's buckets. So, which is kind of similar to what we're doing is we put the time and effort into ourselves. And now we want to try and give it back to, okay, yeah, we filled our buckets positive. Where can we start to give a little bit of that positivity to in the long run and in the grand scheme of things for the athletes that we get to work with? Because there's some athletes, I'll give a little shout out to my first group of athletes. So I started when COVID hit, I started training 2 of my cousins and then 3 of their friends out of my garage. My 2 sisters and I, we grabbed a squat rack, a couple barbells off of Facebook, trekked up to Brookings, South Dakota to pick them up, set them up in the garage. But these kids were going from 8th grade into freshman year of high school. So they're missing out on that initial strength and conditioning program that a high school would provide for their high school athletes. And so we trained them in the garage, and it was convenient because my cousins lived 7 houses down. Sorry, I had to throw that in. We see so much of that at the gym.
It's in our brain
But
constantly.
we work, they live down the street, and then another one of the athletes lived 3 houses down. And so it's like, dude, really?
Dumping it everywhere, apparently. I don't know what's
Golly.
going on.
Elliot
Only
can't
good
drink
at
water.
lifting sticks in circles, I guess. But so we started training them out of my garage, and it's like, okay, it's very early. I'm still learning my way through college. I don't quite know how to write a program yet. So I'm having kids do like beginner stuff, right? These are 13, 14-year-old boys, but kind of them going down that route of like, I got to work with them for 4 straight years as they navigated high school. And now they're all freshmen in college. If you would have told me at that time that 2 of the 5 of them would be in college running track, I would have been like, you're crazy. Like I had a kid do a sprint down to the end of the block and back, and he threw up in the front lawn afterwards. I'm like, dude, it's not that bad, dude. But I mean, he's one of the fastest kids that I've gotten the privilege to work with. And then the only reason that the 5th one's not playing college sport is because he's still in high school. Because he was the little brother that's, I'm going to do it whether you tell me I can't do it or not. Like I looked out my front door one day and he was riding his brother's bike. Mom and dad were like, don't be doing that. You're going to fall. And he's literally like at the apex of all the cycles of the pedals. It's like his foot's like 8 inches off the pedal, but he would figure it out.
You can do it.
So he's one of those hard-nosed, stubborn kids, but he's one of the most driven athletes that we have because he knows one of those things that like, I want to play at that next level. I want to do the work. It's just, I do so many things throughout the week. I play football, basketball. I play baseball for 6 months out of the year. We've got to find that balance, right?
Mhm.
And that's the one challenge that we're continuing to try and give kids is we've got to make sure we're maintaining balance. We can't reach burnout by the time we're 17 years old, because then it's like, we don't want all that training necessarily to, for lack of better terms, go to waste, right? There's other things you can pull from training, but we want to make sure that these kids are doing the things that they want to do, not the things they feel like they have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, kind of wrapping all of that up is like the inspiration is to be able to give back. So I don't think either of us got into this anyone who's in the strength and conditioning
Anybody that's in
world
the gym industry knows it's not a money grab.
Yeah, it's not some
instant
cash cow world, right? Like we're working with youth. We're trying to charge cheap enough that they can still afford it at a young age.
Mhm.
We want them to be able to come in multiple times a week. So it's a lot of us giving back what we felt like we either missed out on or could provide more of. But it all starts from that service for the city, for the individuals, so that their parents have a better relationship at home. And kind of like you said, like the development of humans, not just athletes. So we're not just looking for your D1 prospects and your best kids in the city. We don't care what your athletic experiences is. We want you to come in and enjoy the gym and get fitness, because we've talked a lot about, and you guys know this, especially someone who's been at the top level, is like most of us won't make it.
Mhm.
1% of athletes actually get to that D1 level, let alone any college level. So knowing, like you'd said earlier, like you're going to run into challenges, you're going to run into things in life that are difficult. Athletes have a backing of the understanding what they've been through with losing a game, losing a championship, not making a team. Like there's a lot of that resilience that comes strictly from the experience of sports. So to be able to take that and give it to any kid who maybe never will make a varsity team, like maybe they won't make it on that varsity team even at the high school level, but they can take those tools. They still want to go to the gym. They don't get cut from that team and think, oh man, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore and just go home. They still find a reason to go to the weight room or find an outlet that gives them something more than just what they have. So giving that extra space for kids, giving that place that they can get the mentor or the other voice that maybe they don't have. And then also developing very cool athletes. Like don't get me wrong, we've got some kids who definitely will be at that D1 level and will do very cool things. So to see some of them develop from like, ooh, I don't know if little Johnny will ever make it, to like, hey, look out, here he comes. Like,
I
that's
think
pretty
it
cool.
also is like one thing that I wish that I heard more of, and I'm not saying that I never heard it, but like, I'm proud of you. Like having someone that's not a parent or not a coach saying, hey, I'm proud of you for putting the effort in and getting to where we're at.
Yeah.
Like there are other people that are watching. There's like, I always tell high school kids, like there's people watching even when you don't think they're watching, because when you're in between, when you're physically on the field, you got 12 fifth grade boys out to the side where 6 of them are like, dude, this would be sick. Then you got the other 6 that are like throwing spitballs at each other and all that. But it's like, there's always, and you might not have ever met any of these kids, but at the end of the day, it's like, there is somebody watching and there is that next athlete he wants to be in your shoes. So we keep telling our athletes, like, don't let the person behind you outwork you, right? You're always going to have that depth chart competition. And I'm not one to go into depth charts, this and that. But if you have any ounce of competitive drive as an athlete, it is, do not get outworked by the person in the mirror. That's the one thing we've really hammered out with our athletes, especially in the last couple of weeks of, we've got all these mirrors in the gym and we want every single one of them to look themselves dead in the eye and say, I'm not letting you outwork me today. And it's one step. It's that same thing. It's the positive. See what you can get.
And we know too, like you said, with being proud, like just showing up a lot of times is enough. Like it's extra work to go to a strength and conditioning class and to do this on a Wednesday night. We've got our high school kids from 7 to 8 p.m. Like that's their evening. That's when they want to go do fun stuff. And there's high school games and whatever else is going on. We did a New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day workout with all of our athletes. And the number of them that showed up on days where most of the world is taking the whole day off. We told them the fact that you're here at all, like we're proud of you for that. And that's a cool thing. And it means you showed up for yourself. You showed up for us and someone else for that matter. It doesn't matter what even gets done that day necessarily. We might do 2 exercises and then stand around and talk. But the fact that they were willing to, and they show up with a smile most of the time, most of them, but they show up happy, they're ready to be there and they want to get to work. It helps us. Again, it keeps that coach drive. It makes us enjoy it more. I'm not like dreading groups or like, there's not like there's kids coming in. I'm like, oh gosh, this person's coming in. This is going to be a bad day. Like everyone that comes through is on that same page of what they're there to do. And it's because we're proud of them. They're proud of us. They're proud of each other. It's a total family experience in there when everyone's on that same team.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really
like
good.
the mindset, the mentality, and all the different things that you guys focus on to make sure that they're supported in all ways that they need it. It's just awesome. So we are going to head to our next break. We'll be right back. You are listening to Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence, Ashlee Mitchell, Elliot Applegate, and Logan Kriesel.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continued breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder. A high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Buck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Husker Nation, the countdown is on for the biggest women's basketball event of the year, PAC PBA, coming up January 24th. This year, we're heating things up with the Big Red Beach Party. Watch your Huskers take on Big Ten opponent Illinois, decked out in your best tropical gear, with a specialty tropical drink in hand, all inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. PAC PBA is your tropical getaway right here in Lincoln. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/PACPBA. Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Back to Beyond the Routine with Spence on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And we are back with Beyond the Routine. This is Elliot Applegate
and Logan Kriesel.
We are here with a couple of special guests. We've got Emma Spence and Ashlee Mitchell talking a little bit about Three Pillars Performance Youth Sporting Gym here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Emma, what you got?
All right. That was awesome, by the way. You guys are going to be doing that more often.
That was good.
For this last segment, we got about 5 minutes. I thought we would touch on the women's event that you guys are hosting this weekend.
Yeah.
How can people join? What's it like?
So, if you're watching, Ashley's holding up a little flyer. You got to zoom way in to get the QR code. But we are doing a Women's Health Day event at our new facility. It's going to be going over a little bit of some nutrition, working on some quick little workout and then we're going to be going over some mental health specific things for women only. It's a free event. There should be a tab on our website where you can be able to go and register. If not, I know it's on our Instagram as well as our Facebook. So if you want to go find it, register for it. It's from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Saturday, the 17.
Yes.
So I don't know dates.
One of the things that we've been trying to do, obviously, like youth sports performance is our goal. That's our passion. That's our bread and butter. But we know that fitness is for everyone. And especially in the world of women right now, strength training is huge and it's popular. And we are so excited that women are getting into that world too. So we will be hosting, hopefully monthly, if not quarterly, some kind of free event, whether it's for women, youth, men, whatever it is. But we want to give them the ability to provide something back to the community for free, not having to sign up for it, not having to have a whole lot extra. We would love if you'd sign up so that we can know who's coming. But it's something you can also just show up for, come check it out and get a workout in, get to see the gym, take a look around the new facility as well. And we've put a huge push with our morning and our evening classes to provide some adult training as well. So if you're an adult listening in right now and you want to get your own personal training, kind of act like an athlete still, we've got classes starting as early as 5 a.m.
I need to clarify that.
Correct. You're still an athlete. We'll just get you back on track. Starting at 5 a.m., we've got those hourly classes going for anyone that's interested.
Yep.
So that'll be kind of an option to do that. Some of the mental health stuff, we'll have one of our sports psychology people who we work with who's going to have some specific things in terms of mentality training focuses, a little bit more to come.
Perfect.
No, that's awesome. And then I guess just like so that people know, like, is there anything you need to bring? What do you wear? Like workout clothes?
Wear active wear,
Okay,
active apparel, whatever you're going to be warm in. Obviously, if you need to bring a coat, I don't know what the weather looks like.
Is it?
Normally,
It's going to be
It's going to be
freezing.
inside. It's going to be
It's
inside.
inside. Okay,
But
I was like,
one thing that we
whoa.
always tell our athletes, I always give them crap for it, is like, if it's cold, you should be wearing a coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So most of the time, that's middle school boys. But
With the shorts, they always wear shorts.
Always.
As he's wearing shorts.
But for the Women's Health Day, just active wear. Make sure they got a pair of quality tennis shoes. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the weather looks like. So if there is going to be some type of precipitation, whether that's snow or rain, please bring an extra pair of tennis shoes. We want to make sure we maintain our turf as best we can. But then also the workout, it's not going to be like some High Rocks CrossFit. Oh my gosh, everyone's doing pull-ups. It's just going to get everybody moving a little bit, get some blood flowing, kind of an example of what a workout is for our small group adult personal training sessions that we do offer in the mornings and in the evenings. And then kind of just go from there. We'll start with a little bit of nutrition talk, quick little warm up, get a quick little workout in. We're thinking maybe 30, 45 minutes, somewhere in there. And then we'll finish off with some mentality and psychology stuff.
If you want to come and just hang out and you don't want to actually go through the workout, you're welcome to just hang out in the facility as well. So we know there's some people who may say, hey, I want to learn something, don't want to move yet. Saturday morning, I get it. So you're welcome to just come hang out. And our location, we should probably say where we're at.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. 5631 South 56th Street, suite number 2. We're right across the street from the fort, right off Nebraska Parkway and 56th Street. Working on getting a sign on the building. It's a banner. It faces the east. You should be able to find it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ladies, we hope to see you there.
Yes.
Are you guys coming?
We're planning on
Of
it.
course.
There we go.
And we sent it to our group chat too. So we're hopefully going to bring some friends.
All are welcome.
Everybody's welcome.
I got to learn more about nutrition. So I
Same,
need help.
honestly, same. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Well, guys, that's the wrap of this part of the show. But stay tuned because the same group of people is going to still be going on for the next hour. You're listening to Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence, Ashlee Mitchell, Elliot Applegate, and Logan Kriesel.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197. Assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continued breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder. A high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hunt for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Life is busy and life is loud. How can you get above the noise? Join former Nebraska cheerleader Ashlee Mitchell as she tells you about her experiences in front of the loudest crowds in college athletics and how she rose above the noise. This is Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. If y'all were tuning in for Emma Spence's Beyond the Routine. Now we are just doing another episode with some very special guests. I have Emma Spence on again, Elliot Applegate, and Logan Kriesel. Man, that was a tongue twister. Who are some leaders and coaches, and they work very closely with some young athletes at Three Pillars Performance. And I'm just really excited to have y'all here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're glad to stick around. 1 hour was not enough, so we got more to say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we talk pretty fast, but not that fast.
Not that fast.
Okay, so to start off, do you guys want to talk a little bit about Three Pillars and like what it is, what you guys are here for, how you guys coach?
Yeah, so Three Pillars Performance is a youth sports performance training facility down on the south side of town at 56 Nebraska Parkway. We primarily work with youth, middle school, high school athletes, a little bit of college athletes to progress in the weight room. So your stereotypical, strength conditioning work, but then also the developmental aspect of that. So it's learning movements, why we do movements, why we do certain sprints, landing certain ways. So the injury prevention, body resilience aspect of that. But we also do small group adult personal training in the mornings, kind of working around our athlete schedule in the afternoons. Obviously, we'd love to have athletes training from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but they have to do this thing called school, which is important.
Yep.
So we primarily work with athletes in the afternoons, adults during the morning. So that we have a handful of different groups that we work with. I'm going to let Elliot kind of explain that a little bit. And
yeah, so like Logan said, a lot of times it's individuals coming into our gym to come work out with us. But we've made a push here in the last probably couple years to start working a little bit more with clubs, groups outside of just athletes coming one-to-one or coming to do individual sport work from the high school. So we're partnered with a couple of clubs. Logan will talk a little more about them, but our most recent endeavor is actually getting into what we're calling Three Pillars Adapt. So one of the things we kind of talked about is not just your high-level athletes, but everyone. And so Adapt specifically is focused on individuals with physical and mental disabilities, focusing more on training for daily habits, daily needs, being able to be independent as someone who maybe generally is told that they can't do certain things. So we have some very, very powerful people. We have some stories and some very cool individuals who've been working with us in that realm. People who are competing at the national level in Special Olympic tennis or Special Olympic football and really making big waves and teaching us a lot about what it means to be an athlete in a different world. So shout out to Coach Max. He has led the charge. He's dealt with some stuff within his own family that he's seen what it's like to really have those challenges, those daily needs. And so for us, it's again, really kind of focusing that like, it's not just the highest level athletes, it's everyone. And it's stuff as easy as like trying to get up off the couch or trying to go pick up something off the ground for your adults, your senior citizens, those with extra special needs, whatever it is.
It's developing that level of independence, but then also providing an equal opportunity for everybody that is involved, whether you're someone who's incredibly involved in sports, but then also someone who doesn't quite get to do those quote unquote normal things. We want to make sure that they're still being able to do the other things that some of their classmates might be doing or other peers of theirs, where they are able to go and move their bodies, exercise, get their heart rates up, that type of thing, so that they can get that benefit from it and not just, they get to do it and I don't have an opportunity to.
And
so we want to make sure we're giving that opportunity to them.
Along with the coaching and the mentorship that maybe they miss from team sports growing up. So a lot of times you don't get to be in those same club sports or those high school sports. And there's a lot that we've already talked about that goes beyond sports itself when it comes to development as a person and adversity and resilience and those things. So to have those individuals come through and get that from us, but also show us that like they almost don't need it a lot of times. They're the cheeriest.
They are the happiest
most,
people
like,
that I've ever ran into,
my
and it
gosh.
is it's such a fun group to be able to work with because they are never in a bad mood. So it instantly, if we've already had a longer day or we just had a rough session, and as soon as they walk in the door, it is just lights are on.
Just
It is
smiles
just nothing could make them upset ever, and it is hands down one of my favorite sessions that I've ever had a chance to work
and it
with.
challenges us to try and learn different ways to do certain movements. So
Mhm. Yeah.
if you have someone who is in a wheelchair, they're not going to be able to do certain movements. They're going to have different needs for what they're actually trying to get out of fitness and out of life. So developing things even within the moment where we try something, it's like, okay, that doesn't work. What do we do right now? And it takes 1 minute where we're just like, okay, we're going to really use a band to do something different or attach something and make something like that doesn't exist in a gym, and let's make it happen for one individual, and then be able to repeat that and eventually
So
spread
it's us as coaches live and dying by the name of, we are adapting to the needs of the people that we are working with and the things that they need. So that's the big push behind the name of it, the inclusivity of it, the opportunity behind it. Just making sure that everybody that steps into our facility is heard, seen, able to be doing the things that they want to do, and having people behind them that are pushing it and passionate about being able to help them.
So 3 Pillars Adapt, that's our real big push right now. Like we'd kind of mentioned, we also have some partnerships with clubs in town. So shout out to our gymnastics world. We've got Solid Rock Performance, Lincoln Select
Gymnastics,
excuse me, and then Lincoln Select Swim Club are 2 of the groups that we go to their facilities. So once a week, I'm on the pool deck with swimmers, kind of like we talked about, giving them those tools and those resources that I didn't have. And then Logan goes over to Solid Rock twice a week. Once or twice a week.
So we go twice a week, Mondays and Wednesday nights. Been doing that for 2.5 years, I want to say. Jess, if you're watching, don't get mad at me. I think it's 2.5 years. But working on them on gymnast specific exercises. Obviously, we don't have a whole squat rack, a whole weight room behind us when we're doing it. So it's a little bit of adapting while we're there, using the tools and the equipment that they have. But it's making sure that it's a different type of strength training for gymnast specific. And I mean, you can speak on that as well.
Yeah,
but
for
it's different. But we want to try and make it as specific as possible so that they can perform at the highest level that they can while they are getting into, I mean, right now it's gym season, it's gymnast season, right? So we're getting into meets, competitions. It started last week, and it's like every week on the dot, whether you're going to Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Omaha, like there's plenty of opportunity for those kids to be able to do stuff. But those are 2 of the groups that we travel to be able to work with those athletes.
I'm curious, Emma, was that something you had, like either growing up, youth sports, college level? Like what was the weight room experience like for gymnastics?
Yeah. I started with the weight room probably when I was on the national team, like back in Canada. They provided like a strength coach to work with us. Yes. And it was virtual. So it wasn't like an in-person experience at all. It was like the national team, I guess, strength coach that worked with us, and he would send us workouts and we would just like log our stuff. So it wasn't, you didn't get that like one-on-one experience, I guess, that you guys are able to provide.
Direct feedback, immediate feedback.
Exactly. And then at the university, we did have like strength training, and we actually did a lot of it with the cheer team.
Shout out.
Really fun. We didn't even know each other at the time, which is kind of unfortunate, but we crossed
the
paths
gym
all
brings
the time.
people back together. I don't know if you're listening from last hour, that's how just how it's done.
True. Yeah, actually, Spence, I think we got there at 6 and y'all got there at 6:30, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was a really full circle moment, that we got to see each other every morning, and also that we were doing a lot of functional things that were very similar, a lot of core, a lot of explosiveness through the ankles, shoulders, stuff like that. Just for the different like body positions that you have to get in cheer and gymnastics with tumbling and stuff. So that was really cool to see like the parallels between that.
That is cool. Yeah, that's something that we take, like the workouts that he's going to do with gymnasts are going to look much different from what I would do with swimmers. And when you're in the building at 3 Pillars, we've kind of talked about with our athletes, we will have the same workout provided for everyone. But if you're specifically wanting to be a basketball athlete or a football athlete, we will help educate you on how to move differently. So a basketball player, for example, may need to do different things with their footwork on even a certain exercise compared to a football player or a baseball player. We know that like a baseball player, for example, has a lot more rotational power and they're focused a lot more on their core strength versus someone else who maybe has specific needs. So it's cool. I didn't even think about the cheer and gymnastics partnership, that makes a ton of sense. And that's something we've done, which is like, it's also the fun part of being a coach, is that you get to work with them in real time. So doing a vertical jump or doing something with deceleration, and understanding how the basketball player needs to move differently and a football player is just trying to not get hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like completely different ways.
My favorite thing, especially when athletes are developing and they are consistent with it and they're showing up day in and day out, putting work in. It's the whole, like, you see your grandparents at Thanksgiving or at Christmas, they're like, "Oh, you've grown so big." It's like, as athletes, it's like mom and dad don't always notice it because they see you every single day. But when we do test outs and this and that, it's like, I was showing him earlier today. We had a kid who is vertical. It went down an inch from the last time we did it 8 months ago, or 8 weeks ago, but he grew 3.5 inches. So it's like, that's progress. You're learning your new body that you've got to continue, like, you're adapting, you're learning about how to move this new, for lack of a better term, a newborn giraffe. You're growing, and then you got to continue to figure out the balance aspect of it, the coordination pieces of it. So it's like, okay, now we've got this new athlete, even though it's the same one, where mom and dad aren't always going to notice that. But us as coaches, we see kids once or 2-3 times a week. We're going to notice that a little bit more often, a little bit more frequently than what mom and dad are going to see.
Well, and seasonality. Like, we'll a lot of times have athletes who will take some training off. If you're a kid who's playing club sports and in a middle school sport and your days are just packed, like, they might not have time during basketball season to even make it in, whether they wanted to or not. And the number of times we've had an athlete come in and be like, "Oh my gosh, who is this kid?" Or some 14-year-old comes back and he's 15 and his voice drops and all of a sudden he can go bench an extra 100 pounds and stuff like that. And it's like, a lot of what we talk about with those kids is the development of your actual body will happen whether you're lifting weights, running, doing the exercise or not, just because of growth. So being able to learn how to move and then relearn how to move when all of a sudden you're a foot taller or you're heavier or your weights are different or whatever it is, it's a brand new experience a lot of times. And that's another thing, like, we've kind of talked about mindset a lot, that it can drive a kid, like, it can drive you crazy. If I knew how to jump, I grew 3 inches over the summer and now I try and do the same thing and it just feels wrong. We've had kids who said it just doesn't feel right, like something's off. And it's like, okay, your foot size grew 2 sizes, like, you're jumping a lot differently. Let's give it some time. Guess what? You're still going to keep growing. Let's not get mad about it. Let's continue to learn and develop. And then it's that mindset side of it where it's just like, it's a process. Like, their careers
it's not
are
an
just
overnight
starting.
It's not an overnight thing. You can't just snap your fingers, Tony Stark style, and have everything go back the way that was. But it's that continuation of, hey, I really want, like, it's that driven aspect as an athlete. And you guys get it because you guys were athletes. It's this is where I want to be and I want to get there. And all because I'm growing. It's frustrating because it's not progressing the way that we want it to, but it's like, we'll get there. So we got to develop a little bit of that patience, and a little bit of, like, we'll get there. There's people here. You're surrounded by people that want to help get you there, but we've got to articulate and get you to understand, like, we've got to be a little patient. It's delayed gratification. Rome wasn't built in a night. The whole same old story, staying with that. It's like it's the drip effect. Everyone knows what the drip effect is.
And I think with that, like, it's same stuff goes with our partners, is we don't see them as often. So I see the swimmers once a week at their gym or at their pool, and then they come to us once on a Saturday. But that same idea of, like, providing something that maybe they wouldn't have had or didn't have, and then giving them that same sense of, like, swimming is you repeat it, you do it for hours and hours a day. Like, you want to continue to get better. And then all of a sudden that kid did grow a little bit and it feels weird again. But to give that different voice and to have someone else in their ear, and to be fair, like, us standing in front of I was a skinny swimmer. Now I'm a larger guy who lifts weights, and Logan standing in front of a bunch of gymnasts. Like, we don't look like your swimmer or your gymnast. So to be able to give that same messaging and give them that same feedback and that same coaching, it clicks for them. They're like, okay, it's not just me, it's more than that. And it can be multiple people. And you can
the swimmers are a little different because we've been in the swim world before. So we can be like, okay, this is going to help because XYZ. Like, I jokingly say, like, for a kid who plays baseball, like, I can help you hit the ball further, run faster, this and that. Don't ask me to help you with your swing, because that's like the last thing you want me to do. But I mean, same to go with gymnasts. Like, obviously I cannot just do a backflip on flat ground.
But it's like the functionality of those movements.
It's the drive. Like, I could try it. You want to try right here on the table? No, I'm not doing that. But it's that same idea of, like, I can help you jump faster, jump further, run faster, land stronger, like, develop those things so we're injury resistant, and doing the things that we don't want our bodies to do. We want to develop into that subconscious nature of us as athletes of, this is how I train. I'm going to iron it down. So that way, when I get to a competition, I'm not having to think about it. Just second nature. It happens and we're done. So we want to hammer that out in training. So that way we don't got to think about it in sports. So it doesn't slow us down in sports.
Yeah, I really like that you guys work with so many different types of athletes. Like, it's not just like, oh, we're working with baseball and football, like, y'all are working with athletes. Like, I'm sure swim doesn't really get much functionality training outside of the pool, like we talked a little bit in the last show. But like, this is so important for these athletes to learn it, because when they're done with their main focus of swimming or gymnastics, like they probably won't be tumbling around or swimming around a pool all the time, you know?
Oh, I couldn't tell you the last time I got in a pool. Like I don't want to do it.
Exactly.
And that was long. It was probably when did we hop in and race all this? Like,
we did
probably
we raced the swimmers. And we
was
won.
that 14 months ago?
We still beat them. We
We
still
won.
got it.
I won.
Oh man.
Easy.
But it squeaker over there. I lost my train of thought.
Okay, well, since you lost your train of thought, actually, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Can you guys reiterate your story of how you guys met and how you guys reconnected? I know you guys were friends as children, kind of.
So I'd say we were more acquaintances, new familiar names. We both grew up swimming club year round. So, you know, we're spending 15 hours in a pool a week, traveling to meets that our parents were probably sucking their teeth saying, we got to get a hotel for this. But ultimately, so I swam until I was 13. Elliot swam all the way through high school. But during the summers, especially when we'd be at meets and we wouldn't have school or anything like that, we would be at the same meets, this and that. So we knew of each other. And then went our separate ways. I didn't swim in high school. Mr. Elliott over here did. And once we went to college, I played football in college and found the love for the gym again. And so when we came back to Lincoln, it was I tapped him on the shoulder because I knew who he was. I was like, "You remember me?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "I'm Logan Kriesel," and he goes, "No."
And to be fair, I look like basically exactly the same baby face. And like we're saying here, he gained 100 pounds of muscle, full beard, grew a foot. So it was like
it was the sheer like Viking of who's this?
That's a man right
Nordic
there.
man.
Yeah.
Who is this?
And so we ran into each other, and it was one of those just casual, like, hey, let's get a workout in together sometime. And so we literally just had a couple of lifts. That's one thing that we've talked about with our kids too, is that like our athletes know that we actually still do work out together, and we'll go do that. And like, it was so much fun to have a gym partner and to reconnect with someone in that time when we were just here in Lincoln going to our own gym, doing our thing. I had kind of mentioned that Logan was almost venting to me that he needed 1 or 2 days. It wasn't a ton of hours. It was just a little bit of work that was needed. And my real estate career at the same time provided Monday and Tuesday nights to be more available. I'm heavier on the weekends with that. I told him like, hey, I can do a couple hours. I'm not committing to much. Now he's roped me into doing this a lot more, and I love it. Happy to be here.
Deal with it.
But so it went from that very quick, just kind of intro 1 day a week. I realized what special stuff was going on. Like, it was a very special thing.
The turning point for that, I think, was when you texted me and just came into the gym randomly. I was like, okay, we're going to do a little job interview type thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite tell CJ about it. And so I got a notepad together. It was me and our other coach, Coach G, Gerald, whatever you want me to call you, boss. Just don't flame me tomorrow. But we were sitting on some boxes out in the turf, and we were just like kind of hashing out the ideas that Three Pillars can kind of branch into, and the passion that he's had for the gym, but then also the mental side of the gym, and kind of the thing that we were already doing, which was working with youth athletes, developing strength conditioning, the whole 9 yards. And so I still have that note sheet in my backpack. I haven't framed it yet, but I'm going to frame it somewhere, because that was like the first iteration of this revamp that I would say that we've kind of been pushing and kind of chasing for 2.5 years now. And now that we're in our new facility, we're in a space where we can have that opportunity and that access to give those kids that new training space, that it's kind of all coming together. And I don't know, that's just kind of where things kind of picked up again.
And I mean, like, for me, it started as a passion project. Real estate was my career, still is my career. And I found that I needed something extra in terms of the fitness world specifically. So I had been approaching the bodybuilding space, getting into my own fitness and my own stuff. And as I kind of figured out that wasn't exactly for me, it was that same timing to where we ran into each other. And the idea of coaching youth and coaching kids was a different world with sports and strength and conditioning than just like going to coach a team or going to be like a swim coach. I've done it before, and it was just a different experience. It's a lot more niche with having kids come in for an hour at a time. My personal coaching background, my dad, my grandpa were both coaches. They were incredible coaches themselves. And so it's been in my blood my whole life. Mom's a teacher. I've been around just the learning experience for as long as I can remember. So it was second nature for me. It's second nature for him to just be able to provide coaching and feedback to someone else, whether it's fitness, whether it's personal stories. Like, the amount of times we've helped each other or other people's, almost in that therapy sense of like just being willing to listen and talk to someone and come up with answers and come up with something for development in any sense. So using athletics and using sports is such a simple way to kind of boil it down.
Especially in the state of Nebraska. Like the state of Nebraska where everything is go big red. It's like everybody can relate to sports in some aspect. So being able to, where he and I are able to, we can talk sports all day long. Maybe not NFL football, but like basketball. We can talk a little bit about basketball, but in the term,
there we go. Go big red.
Go big red. But it's that same, like, it's not just about sports. It's about being a human, being vulnerable, being able to open up about certain things that do occur in your life and being able to share that with somebody and not feel like you just got to bottle it up and go on your merry way. Like that's kind of what how I was wired when I was in high school, and I wasn't a big people person. I liked being by myself and, for lack of better terms, silence, even though my headphones were at max volume. But it's just a space where you can kind of escape reality for a little bit. And I think that's how he and I really connected right off the get-go. And it's just been a continuing, for lack of a better term, brotherhood that he and I have developed in that relationship aspect over the last 4 years.
I was the opposite of like, I'm a people person. I want to connect. I love relationships. And so kind of like he's saying, like sports are kind of that bridge for people too, to where learning something about resiliency and adversity and these things can be very difficult, especially for adults to just kind of bring up and talk about. But if you're talking about an athlete, and if you use a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan and you talk about their mindset and you get into things when it comes to mental training, it's a lot easier to talk about in sports. And it's the same bridge of like, I don't care where you stand politically or when whatever you think of whatever on a Husker game day, everyone's cheering for the same team. Everyone's got that same goal. So sports have always been that bridge for people. And I think it's just so important to instill it into the youth so that they understand, first of all, that fitness is for life, but also that whether someone has differences, they're the same, whatever it is, like you can connect with someone through something as simple as just going to the gym and picking up weights.
Yeah. And I love too that like so many different athletic backgrounds will work together in one group, because that also shows like it doesn't matter where you're coming from. Like you guys can still connect no matter what. You guys can connect, find something similar, or even just learn how to work together even when you maybe don't like them as much. So I think that's really great about your program as well. Because I'm always with cheerleaders. I'm sure Spence was always with gymnasts, like if we would have combined with some other sports, maybe there would have been a little bit more of a common understanding.
Yeah, completely. We have like, we'll tell our basketball kids like, hey, watch how this football kid moves, or our volleyball girls. We've got incredible athletes who jump better than a lot of our boys who don't have to jump as much just because it's so repetitive for them. So being able to use each other as examples and grab someone who maybe doesn't feel like they're as strong, but they're faster, and be like, hey, go watch so-and-so do something. And it relates because everyone's got their own strengths. Everyone's got something that they're good at in that hour, even from your most developmental to your most elite athlete. They're learning from each other. We're learning from them. They're learning from us. It's a very cohesive group to where like I've learned so much about like softball, for example. I didn't have much of a softball background, and now I know more about the rules. I understand the game. I understand how to play it because I'm just curious. And I'll ask our athletes like, hey, tell me something about your game. Does this make sense for you? So we'll have an exercise and I'll talk through it. And I'll say literally to a girl, I'll say like, does this relate to softball for you? What do you get out of this? Because I don't have that background. I don't know it. But I'm not going to fake it either. I'm going to be very honest with them, and then they have that credibility to me, like that they know that I'm also listening.
Help you in a sense of like, if you're 14 years old and a freshman in high school and you're working with us, first time ever meeting us, it's like we're the most two open book people you'll ever meet. You ask us a question, we're going to shoot it to you straight. We're not going to kind of beat around the bush, so to speak. But let's develop the relationship first, kind of get to know them. But then also, we don't want these kids when they walk in, we don't want them to be like new space, brand new faces, people you've never met before. It's daunting, right? It's one of those things where it's like, I don't quite know about this. But if we're open and we can show that like we are welcoming athletes in with open arms and we don't have anything to hide, then we want them to be able to, in a sense, let their guard down a little bit when they're working with us. So we want to see, as a strength and conditioning coach, you want to see your kids be vulnerable because you want to see how they're going to react to certain situations. Where sport specific coaches hammer this, hammer this, hammer this. It's like, well, you're not helping just by yelling, get this done, get this done. It's like, okay, but now articulate that to us and we can help navigate that from a third party's perspective where we don't get to navigate. Like we don't get to go to practice when you guys are going to practice and you're working on all these things. It's like, let's help navigate the thought process of it, how we can react, how we can react to it. And then if we can react in a positive manner, then how can we build on that?
That's really good. Yeah. I feel like you guys can like even take that kind of lesson in with not only any athlete, but like, again, you guys, little shout out, you guys are having like a women's health day on January 17th. And like, you guys get to use the knowledge about reactivity and things like that with other people as well, adults, really young children, whoever. I really like that about you guys.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of our pushes is to do more than just sports. So the Women's Health Day will be this Saturday, the 17th. And then in February on Valentine's, we'll have a self-love kind of day. So it'll be for anyone who's coming through, whether you have someone you love, whether you're loving yourself, someone you've lost, but that ability to, again, use the weight room and use that as a spot that's like, it's a safety place. And you can learn from it, you can grow from it, but it's your own story. You get to do it your way. Same thing with our athletes, just like we were saying, like, I want to hear from them and learn from them just as much as they're learning from us.
Yeah, that's really good. I think that really sums up this part of the episode. But yeah, you guys will tune back in after a short break and we will be right back.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continued breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder, a high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
Welcome back, guys. Right now, if you are watching the video, we are wearing some very silly hats, so I hope y'all enjoy that. But we were going to talk a little bit about, at the beginning, about being silly with your athletes and how mentality also needs a little bit of silliness with it.
Yes, absolutely. No. So it's one of the things we've talked about a lot at Three Pillars is we are a couple of giant 12-year-olds. So it's super important to bring some focus and to bring some intensity to workouts, but we know who we're working with. It's 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, up through even your high school kids, college kids. Like, it's still a silly place. It's still the gym. It's still fun. So one of the things we've really tried to do is hone in on allowing ourselves to still be silly, while also providing it to the athletes, changing up the names of exercises, doing things in ways that they'll understand. So you can kind of talk about bounding as one of the ones
And
that we've
the
really
Mario run.
Yeah. Somebody was listening.
It's so good. I remembered.
So bounding, especially when we're training sprints or anything like that, we want to make sure that we're driving knees, we're getting the knees the direction that we want them to go, but then also like feet striking the ground the way that they need to be. So one thing that we talk to kids about when we're working on bounds and building up into sprints is you're running like Mario. So you got Mario runs, whatever you want to call them. Some people might call them Hulk runs because every time Hulk comes off flying from a building and breaking something, when he lands on the ground, he leaves this giant crater. And so we try and teach kids like every step you take, that's the type of power that we're wanting to push down into the ground. We want to create that crater to project you forward. Yeah, we probably got to take these off. I'm going to keep looking at myself in the corner and just lose it.
But with that, it's just like the same idea of like, when we say that to a kid and we're talking about a Mario run, it's easy to see how quick it clicks. And when we're talking about explosive feet and going into the ground, whatever it might be, like they're kind of just looking at it like, yeah, whatever you're saying, like they don't get it. But as soon as you use Mario or Hulk, it's like, okay, that's something I connect with and something I know. And for us, it's easy as coaches to use the same stuff. Like it's what we're learning. It's what we're watching. We're still watching Marvel movies and doing those kind of things. And then it's just that willingness for us to like take the risk of saying something that might not click at first. But work with it and work with those athletes to find a way that connects with them so that whether they're a kid, an adult, whatever it is, like it means something in that sense. So yeah, the silliness, just like that, like we'll do something in the facility where everyone does something, run upstairs, touch something, do like a back and forth, like do something weird or silly.
That's the biggest thing is like the biggest part about all this youth athletic training is we want kids to still go and do kid things. Like if you go and you get a bruise, you scuff your knee up because you went sledding, like,
good.
Nice work.
Yeah.
You were literally doing the things that you were supposed to be doing. We want these kids to be able to enjoy the training aspect of it, but then also be sure that when they aren't always surrounded in athletics and they have a snow day or something once in a while, they feel okay to just go and do kid things. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And it's just most of the time those coaches are like, hey, make sure you're still drinking water, hydrating, XYZ. Like, yeah, we want the kids to do that, but at the end of the day, their sports specific coach isn't going to go tell them, hey, go sledding, go do something that might get you hurt.
Well, and especially in today's world with like club sports, athletics, they are doing something every night of the week,
single
three
day.
sports at the same time. Then they're coming to us. They're exhausted when they walk in. He's 14 and his knees hurt already. And we just see it as like you're losing some of that childhood aspect. So there's been workouts before where we'll literally tell kids like, hey, we're going to lay on the ground for 10 minutes. Everyone just sit here and be quiet. And then we'll do something fun and silly. And then we'll maybe get something done for 20 minutes.
Us as a team, we always talk about a quality work-life balance. And we want to try and make sure that we're doing the things we need to at work and the things we need to at life. But then also we try and iterate to the kids, like you guys need a quality student athlete balance, right? Like
Yeah.
you've got to be able to take some time and just get off your feet for a little bit.
That's
It's
really
okay
good.
to not do anything for a day.
And like one of the simplest things is we will never be upset or back with a kid if they want to like go watch the high school basketball team or go to
Yeah.
the high school football game.
Like
please
go
do the stuff.
experience those experiences,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping that you enjoy them. Like the only thing that I ask is, one, you communicate it ahead of time, not 5 minutes before your session starts. And also it kind of goes back to what we talked about in Emma's show of like developing that communicative aspect of, it's not an interview every time you're talking to a coach. It's a straight open-ended communication. It's a conversation going back and forth. It's not something that the kids have to sweat and be like, I don't want to send the text. It's like, no, just be upfront, be honest with it. Because then like, we're not going to be upset with you about going on an experience of those things.
And it all relates back to real life stuff. Like that's the thing is like, we don't want you to be fearful of having that risky text to a boss or having that conversation with a partner, whoever it is. Like the comfortability of doing those things. And then also knowing as an adult, you still got to go have fun. You still got to have times to go on a vacation, to take a couple days off, to go with your partner and take a break and go do something. Like it's not all work. Like you got to have fun here. Like it's supposed to be a joyful experience to be on this planet. Let's have some fun as a kid and then continue to do as an adult.
That's so good. I think actually Emma and I talk about this kind of stuff all the time, but I feel like even like as an adult now, or I guess like a young adult, like I don't know how to rest. I don't know how to take a break. And I like always am kind of on that like on go people pleasing mode, you know? And so I think that's really cool that you guys are able to communicate well, like how these kids not just should be student athletes, but also should find rest. And like just the fact that you're teaching them about work-life balance too, I think is so important, because I don't think I've ever had a coach tell me, you know, like rest, like just take a second, you know, just take
like
5.
I'm very similar in that aspect of I thrive in chaos.
Yeah.
I am very much work. And Kate, I know you're watching this, so don't be upset when I say this, but I love being at the gym. I love doing the things that we're doing in that space. And so it's similar to the gym aspect when I was in college. That was my space to kind of go away, put things behind a little bit, turn everything else off. Work is almost the same way, especially due to some recent life events. So about a year and a half ago, coming up on 2 years, I lost my mom to ALS. She had a 4-year battle with ALS. So being the person that is consistently working with people that I'm teaching them how to move their bodies, and that's the one thing that I wasn't able to help my mom with. That was the difficult part for me, because it's not like one of the most important people in my life. I'm not able to do anything about it. So it's like when I go to work, that's almost my distraction of where that goes now. Like I'm not necessarily one to open up a bunch about things that go on in my personal life. But I find the peace in the chaos almost. Like it's not a distraction, but it keeps my mind occupied, because if I sit for too long in silence and I let my thoughts just run, and as former athletes, I think everybody can kind of attest to that, is like you kind of get lost in a sense. And then you start developing that whole identity of, okay, what am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? And that's the one thing that I pray and hope that no athlete, no kid that we work with ever has to go through that. It was one of the most difficult things for me to go through. And you could ask some of my best friends if they could attest to it. You can attest to it. I'm not a pleasant person to be around when I'm upset.
Yeah. I'll agree.
And that's not because I'm like angry at X, Y, and Z. It's just, I need to do something to keep my mind off of it. Otherwise I'm going to spiral, and it's super hard for me to get back on track.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like, we're trying to teach it into our kids, and grief is a really good example. I lost my dad just over this last summer. So 2025, June, my dad had a heart attack. It was instant. It was gone. Much different than Logan in the sense of like, it was a bit more drawn out. He got to experience that and go through it. We have much different experiences in that, but the idea of grief itself has been really heavy for both of us, obviously. So understanding that the gym is a safe space, we can go through those things. My dad was my coach. He was my hero. Like he was one of those people that taught me how to read my emotions, how to get in touch with myself, learn empathy, learn these other things. So understanding that grief itself, like Logan said, like, I hope no athlete has to go through that. I know that grief in its own world can be just as serious for someone who breaks their arm and can no longer compete in their sport. You can grieve that kind of idea. You can go through something serious, and it might not be loss or death, but there can be things that are so heavy on you that you don't know where to go or what outlet to look for. So for us to be willing, like we'll talk with our athletes about that. We don't get heavy into the stories, but they know some of what we've been through. They understand that we've gone through those things, and we use the gym as that tool, whether it's a distraction in certain days or it's a place to connect or to just get rid of some energy and to just feel that itself, like to remember them, to use their stories, but also to help those, what we've been through, guide us on how to help connect with others. Like, I know I need those connections with him. I need to talk to him about my dad. I need to use that.
Fortunately, not the best word to use, but like, fortunately, that's how we can relate as a couple peers with each other of like, if we've known each other and we've been interacting with each other long enough. Like, I can gauge if he's having a longer day or if he's having a rougher day.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not one to push buttons and try and pull something out, anybody, but I am very much an advocate for, if you need a space or if you need a sec, like if you need somewhere to literally just let off steam and to yell and to do anything like that, direct it at me. I'll take it, because I know that that's going to help you in the long run. Now, I'm not going to reciprocate it back to you, but at the end of the day, I want everybody that walks through our facility to understand, like, this is a space where you are allowed to be vulnerable and not judge.
Yes.
And I think if anybody were to judge, that's when we have serious conversations of like, you might not know what's going on. You've never been in their shoes. Like, take a beat. Like, let's try and figure it out as a group and as a unit, and not one person kind of throwing everything off the rails, so to speak.
And it creates an environment where those kids understand that too. We've had athletes come to us after breakups, after things at home, after problems where they don't feel they could talk to mom or dad, whatever it is. And the fact that they're, first of all, willing to come to us, like, it literally will bring me to tears again, because it's so cool to be that mentor, but to know that, like, it's there because of what we're willing to do on the other end. It won't be provided. Like, if you're not providing it, it's not going to come the other way. And so that willingness for us to wear our heart on our sleeve, to be fully committed to validating and understanding those athletes and those kids, because we know what we have to do for each other. And both of us, for example, we're probably holding a lot back. And when we kind of learn more about each other's stories, it was a lot easier to put that out, because like, oh, you get it instantly. And as we've both gone through this grieving process, I know we've learned from each other. We've been able to confide in each other when we didn't even maybe want to talk to our wives about it. And we didn't want to go to our partners yet. Like, it was, you needed that bro conversation or that like tough mentality coaching kind of thing. But the sense of mentality as general, like, I literally got on my hat. It's one of the most important things to me. It's something that I've focused on for so long in my life, but I've dug in deeper in the sense of mentality within myself and others, and understanding that, like, we're all here to connect. The more we know about each other, the better we know each other, the better the relationships go, the better the coaching is, the better that athlete turns out on the other end, because they have that trust in themselves and in their coach. They can take that to their basketball team, to their football team, home to mom and dad, whatever it might be.
Because at the end of the day, it's everybody's first time living. Like, everybody's figuring it out as they go. It's like, yes, you can have those situations where you can relate to somebody, but at the end of the day, it's like they go to bed in a different bed. They go live in a separate. We have so many different things going on in their own personal lives. Like, don't be too quick to judge somebody before you start to figure out and learn a little bit about who they are and what they might be struggling with. Find the root cause of the problem. I put quotes around that. Like, find the root cause of what might be causing that emotion, that spurt. And then as a group or as a coach and an athlete, like, that's the same thing that kind of what we mentioned in Emma's story or in Emma's show of like, get to know the people you're working with, but then also develop that relationship with them. Be vulnerable with it.
Yeah.
And I think both my dad and his mom were the ones who kind of taught us that too. Like, they're the ones who are heavy in our life as coaches and teachers that understood more than just like, go make a bunch of money. It was understand yourself, understand others, and create those relationships. So for both of us to be able to continue to pass on the messages they gave us onto athletes, onto the youth, onto each other, but just to continue to use those words and those powers and to like dig deeper in. Like, the more we learn about it, the more vulnerable we get, the more that comes from it. And the better we get. And like we've said before, like, we're two halves of the same brain at this point, because it's like, I know what he's thinking. I can see when he's having a rough day. I can say, hey, Logan, go take 20 minutes, go get something to eat and come back. And it's like, I've got his back when he needs it. Coach Max, Coach
80% of our problems can be solved with food, just so you know.
So
Angry is most of the problem, yes. But yeah, those relationships.
Gal.
Yeah.
But wow, okay. I love to hear your guys' stories. That is really meaningful. And I'm sure, like, even just as an athlete, like, I'm trying to put myself in younger Ashlee's shoes, and like, hearing that from somebody, I think would have definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things. If you have any like athletes or coaches or even just adults listening in right now, what is like one of the biggest tips you would say on that mindset shift? Maybe that mindset shift to vulnerability, but that general mindset shift that you found yourself in those moments. Like,
so from a coaching perspective, like, obviously being an athlete growing up, the one thing that I continually reiterate to myself as kids are filing in and out of the facilities, like be the coach that you needed when you were a kid.
Mhm.
Like my dad was my football coach. My mom was my little sister's volleyball coach for a little bit. Like it's that development of be the person that you needed the most. And it might not have been like for a long period of time. It might've just been in spurts. So it's, if you're struggling with XYZ, very similar to kind of what we've mentioned previously of like, you're not always going to take everything to mom and dad. Like if you need somewhere to be vulnerable, be the person that you need. It's like, take a deep breath, take a step back. You don't got to solve all the world's problems in one day. Like it's a day by day process. Some days are going to be harder than others. Like, but we always talk about filling each other's cup. Like if he's at 20% capacity that day and I'm at 100, like how can I help get you to 25%? Like I might need to carry that a little bit, but I'm there with them to be able to help with that. So the same thing I think should go for adults and their kids of like, your kid might've had a rough game, but don't carry it from the parking. Like as soon as you get in the car and you walk through the parking lot, you get in the car, door shut, like that's it.
Yeah.
Like don't continue to string it out and draw it out. Like if they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to talk about it. Come back to it a different time and then kind of go from there.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. It's just like we're all just one big team, parents and athletes together, and even coaches and athletes. I love that. But yeah, right now we're going to go to one more break. And when we come back, we'll finish with some rapid fire questions.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184. 2,500 down with proof credit.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at nebraskadeerandgameexpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart-Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
All right, fellas, it's January. You're setting goals, you're hitting the gym, but have you checked what's going on inside the engine? At Advanced Medical Imaging, the Wellness Within program makes it easy. They have different levels of preventive scans so you can choose exactly what fits your health goals. From quick baseline checks to full body insights. It's simple, it's smart, and it's all about keeping you in top form before problems ever sneak up. And the best part, you don't need a doctor's order. Just call AMI to schedule and make this the year you put your health on the schedule.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continued breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder. A high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashley Mitchell.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. We are finishing out our super fun 2-hour segment now. We're having a couple of brain cells that have died in the process, so we might not make the most sense right now, but
There you go.
I'm excited to sit down with Elliot Applegate, Logan Kriesel, and Emma Spence. And this has been just one of the best shows, I feel like, of my
Of the
entire
year.
journey.
This was the first show of the year too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There you go.
It
Best
was
one
the
I've been
first
on.
show of the year.
There we
And
go.
it's the best show of the year.
Honestly.
That's all I can
Love it.
say.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go hit some rapid fire questions. I did not tell them what I was gonna ask. It's really, I promise it's not painful. But
I feel like I'm going to get put on blast here real quick.
no, they're like gym bro questions. So I felt like this was like
That's what I'm saying. I could get put on blast real quick.
okay. If you're one of the
Yeah,
kids,
we'll see if
don't
we
listen
practice
to it,
what we
baby.
preach.
I'm a big do as I say, not as I do person. I need to make that very clear.
That's so funny. Okay. Anyways, what is one word you say in your head before a hard set?
I don't know if I can say
I
it on
can't
here.
repeat that on.
Okay.
No, I think
Got
it's
it.
like, let's go. Here we go.
I
Here we go.
think
Here we
it's
go.
more just like noises.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, no,
Shout out
no.
Ronnie. It's never a positive. We got to think positive here.
Yes.
I love
Lightweight, baby.
no, whenever you think lightweight, I swear you can't even get like the bar up or you can't even like,
That's because you didn't have us yelling at you.
Yeah.
So once
so
it's us
ugly.
yelling, then it'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
different.
I could yell. I could scare you. But
That's
again,
true.
I want to come back on the show, so I'm not going to do that.
Women's Health Day. I just come in, y'all are yelling
It's
at
just
me.
a drill sergeant.
I would love that.
Come on.
Okay, PRs or perfect form?
Perfect form.
Easy answer. Perfect form.
Awesome. Okay. What hurts more, quitting a set early or failing a rep?
Quitting a set early.
Quit us. Yeah.
We don't quit around here.
That's true.
Failing a rep's all right. Failure means you pushed yourself to a
I
point
want,
where you found a limit.
as a strength and conditioning coach, I want to see you fail because I want to see how you respond to it because that's how we build into that next step.
Okay.
I like it. That's great. I'm
That
gonna
is-
write that
yeah.
down.
Yep.
Okay, music or silence during a lift,
During a lift,
or like I don't know, just you sounded like you liked silence.
so ADHD moment is my brain's just, it could be super loud music and there's just like a flat line going
Yeah.
between my ears.
Me
So
and
Because
Ryan.
I don't think a
one of
whole
the-
lot. It's just muscle memory.
One of the craziest things I've ever seen. This man will listen to one song for an entire workout. Of an
and
hour
not
on
notice.
repeat.
And not notice.
I've got 8
Wild.
different playlists. I've got moods for every day. I've got a different lift for a different workout. Like I'm music all through. Music nerd for sure.
That's good. Yeah, I ran the other day without music, and I like swear
Why would you do that?
It was so.
I
and
mean,
it was on a
it's not the
treadmill.
not listening to music. It's the running.
The running part.
Oh,
Yeah.
both. Yeah, true. And it was on a treadmill, so I was like staring at the wall the whole time, and I was like, "What do I think about?" And it was like, "Stop, stop!" Like it was loud.
That's why I don't run on treadmills because it's gonna go through the floor.
Yep.
It's bad. Okay. What is? Ooh, this is a good one. Patting myself on the back.
That's your
right
own
now.
question.
Yeah. What is one habit that changed your physique or your life the most?
Journaling for me. I started journaling and it was both a physical and a mental thing. I got stuff out of my brain, got it onto paper. It was huge for me. And then it allowed me to go do more that I was worried about.
Sleep. I had a
So
terrible sleep
good.
pattern in college, and my wife has helped me fix that pattern. So we are in bed, 10 o'clock, lights out.
Shout out
ready
to the
go,
wife.
Hung
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. What's harder, starting or staying consistent?
I think starting.
Yeah.
Once you're
Take the
in it,
first
once
step.
you get going, especially if you got a team around you, if you've got someone that can get your back, like having support is huge, but getting started is the hardest part. Like that first day going in, we tell a lot of kids, and I tell people like adults that want to go to the gym, literally just walk into the gym. You don't have to pick up a weight.
So
Just
good.
walk around once, make a lap, hop on a treadmill for 2 minutes. If you decide you're done, go home.
Yeah.
Just make sure you come back again, and then you do a little bit more, find someone you trust or
You'll
a coach
develop
or
that
something. to do it.
consistency, that comfortability with it, and then it's just going to continue to compound because then you'll find that environment with people too.
That's so good. Wow. What a perfect way to tie it off. Again, I want to thank you guys for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for
This
having
is
us.
so
This was fun.
And again, it's Ashlee Mitchell with Elliot Applegate, Logan Kriesel, and Emma Spence. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today.